Tempus AI uses artificial intelligence to accelerate the pace of drug discovery, diagnose diseases earlier, and identify potentially life-saving clinical trials. Now, with all that great growth opportunity in front of them, could there be a trading or investing opportunity in the shares of Tempus AI? That's the question we'll address in today's Equity Empire Chart Analysis session. My name is John McHugh. I'm a former Wall Street analyst, hedge fund manager, and independent trader for the better part of 20 years. Today, we're going to be simply looking at two things in the chart of Tempus, and that's the direction of the trend, and are there clues as to where the big money might be stacked up trying to buy or trying to sell. So step one, let's assess the trend. The way we're going to do that is we're going to look for the two most recent highs and the two most recent lows. And after we do that, we'll notice that as they move from left to right, the highs are moving higher, and as they move from left to right, the lows are also moving higher. And just on Thursday of this past week, shares of Tempus AI started an uptrend. So once we've identified an uptrend, we'll be simply looking for support levels for potential bounce trades. So I'm going to change the time frame to 1 hour for the candles. We're going to look for our first support level, and our first support level will be here in the 58.73 to 57 price range. So that was resistance, and after price moved through there meaningfully, that resistance level turns into support. So that now could be a potential support level for a bounce trade. There is another support level in the price range down here, the 52 to 48.71 price range. So both of those levels could be tradable for bounces. And our target for either one of those trades would be our first resistance level, and that level is right here in the 65.13 to 66.52 price range. So the way you would construct a trade in Tempus AI, since it's in an uptrend, was we'd be looking for a bounce, a pullback to one of these levels for a potential bounce, and the bounce to go to the next resistance level. So we could, if we wanted to go for the first level, place a buy limit order at the 58.73 price range with a protective stop just below 57 and a target just in front of the first resistance level, and that would give us a reward to risk ratio of that trade of 3.25. That means for every $100 worth of risk you would take, you could potentially make $325. Now, the way that trade would ideally play out would be for price to continue dropping as it was on Friday, bounce off that support level, and head to the first resistance level. Now, if price were to keep dropping and go right through that level, you'd lose $100 or increments of $100. And if it were to bounce off that, the reward would be 3 times the amount of risk of your trade. Now, if you thought that Tempus might pull back even farther than that to this next support level, you could potentially have a buy limit order waiting at the 52.04 price range, protective stop just below that level, and same target as the earlier one, and that would have a reward to risk ratio of a little bit higher at 3.63 to 1. So both of those trades, if you were to take one of those, would have a little more than 3 to 1 reward to risk in each one of those trade setups, and that is the way pros set up trades. So the way that setup might work would be if price were to drop a little more dramatically down to the 52 price range before bouncing, bounce off that level, and then head back up to our same resistance level there. That would be game plan number 2, would be that trade there, the blue line. Okay, so we've got two potential bounce trade setups for you for next week in Tempus AI. Hope you enjoyed the session. We'll be back later next week with more chart analysis. In the meantime, best of luck in your trading and investing, and we'll see you soon.